Okay, that should be good. All right, well, welcome everybody to the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs virtual information session. Very excited to have you all here with us today. My name's Jess. I'm a freshman admissions counselor here at UCCS. I'm also a proud graduate of UCCS myself, so I'm excited to share with you a bit of my own personal UCCS experience and get you a general overview of UCCS as well. I do want to point out a couple quick icons for you that you'll see. So at the bottom of your screen, there should be a little icon for Q&A. So if at any time throughout the presentation you have questions that come up, please feel free to go ahead and ask those. I've got a lovely co-host, Annalise, who is going to be around to answer those questions for you. But also keep in mind that at the end of the presentation, I'll have a few minutes set aside for you guys to ask those questions as well. You'll also see something for polls. I'm going to be asking a couple different questions throughout the presentation just to kind of see maybe where you guys are from or what you're interested in studying. And then lastly, you should see another icon that says raise hand. So I might ask a question throughout the presentation. Maybe it's about your major, about studying abroad. If you want to utilize that function, that will let you to raise your hand just so I can kind of engage you guys a little bit more and see what you guys are interested in and whatnot, since we're doing this all virtually. So to start off though, I do want to get to know you guys a little bit. So I'm going to kick us off with a couple different polls. My first one is going to be, where are you guys from? So I'm going to launch this poll here. If you could please answer that for me, just so I can get an idea of where everybody's coming from. Let us know if you can't see it. All right, perfect. So I'm going to end that. And just in case you guys are curious, I'm going to share those with you. So looks like we have a few people coming from Colorado, some from the South, some from the East, and even outside the US as well. So thank you for battling time zones, even out of the country, to be with us and learn some more about UCCS. And then I've got another poll for you. Let me pull that guy up. All right, I'm curious about what year you're in. So are you a freshman in high school, junior, senior, sophomore? Maybe you're a transfer student, maybe you're a parent. If you could list that for me as well, that'd be great. Okay, let's see. And maybe just a couple more votes here. All right, so it looks like we've got a good mix, mostly seniors, we've got a transfer student, and then some that are kind of out of that category as well. So thank you for sharing that. And then my last question is, what major are you interested in? And just so you know, letters, arts, and sciences, that college kind of encompasses majors like psychology, history, anthropology, communication. So those types of majors, that is what is inside that letters, arts, and sciences college. Nice, okay. Majority of you guys are nursing and health sciences students, great. We got business, awesome. I was a business student. All right, cool. Perfect. So what we got here is we have letters, arts, and sciences, our College of Nursing and Health Sciences, and then business as well. So fantastic. Thank you guys all for participating in that. It was nice to get to know who I'm talking to a little bit. So you may or may not be familiar with UCCS, depending on where you're coming from. UCCS is a regionally accredited 4-year public institution. We're nestled in beautiful Colorado Springs, which is located about an hour south of Denver, and our campus does overlook Pikes Peak as well. And we're one of 4 University of Colorado campuses. So you guys have likely heard of CU Boulder, CU Denver, and then we have our Anschutz Medical Campus as well. Of the 4 schools, ultimately what we share are the same colors, black and gold, and kind of the same overarching umbrella of administration. But what's different is that we have different mascots, different programs and majors, and then kind of what I like to think different vibes and personalities for each of the campuses as well. But of the 4 schools, we're the smallest. We're a medium-sized campus of just about 12,500 students. We're also the newest. We started in 1965, and we're one of the fastest growing institutions in the state of Colorado as well. and we take tremendous pride in our academics. We have over 50 undergraduate degree options that are housed in 6 different colleges, which you guys saw through the poll. We are most known for business, engineering, and nursing, but criminal justice, health sciences, psychology, the arts, those are all very popular programs for our students as well. And we truly have amazing faculty here at UCCS. They genuinely want to build a relationship with you and help you to be successful. I'm just taking one class right now, just kind of for kicks and giggles, but I was able to really get to know my professor very well. And I'd see her on campus and she knows my name and says hi to me. And even now, as we're working through this time of remote learning, they're working extra hard to help us and to make themselves accessible. And it's just kind of a reminder that they do truly care about our well-being and our success. And this honestly was the tone for the majority of my classes at UCCS. And I think a lot of that correlates with our small classroom sizes. We have an average classroom size of 25 and a 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you can be confident in knowing that you're going to really get to know your professors and be able to build that relationship with them. You're going to feel comfortable asking questions. Maybe it's about a homework assignment, a minor, what you should do after you graduate. They're available to answer all those questions for you. And you're also going to get to know your professors, or excuse me, your peers in your class very well to make those friendships and relationships that way as well. Now, UCCS offers a variety of unique programs. We have something called Game Design and Development, PGA Golf Management, Sport Management, and then something called our Bachelor of Innovation. Has anyone heard, by show of hands, of the Bachelor of Innovation before? Okay, I mean, maybe one person. Awesome. So the Bachelor of Innovation is completely unique to UCCS. It's actually the only one in the world. So you may have heard of a Bachelor of Art or a Bachelor of Science. Within the Bachelor of Innovation, you still complete your same core coursework, whether that's in game design and development, finance, inclusive early childhood education, maybe chemistry, but then you'll also take classes in entrepreneurship and innovation. And then for 3 years of this 4-year program, you're actually working with companies in Colorado to solve problems for them. So you get a lot of that real world experience by getting to work with those outside companies on real projects for them. And actually I took an entrepreneurship class through this program my first semester, and that's how I was able to start a company, which led to some pretty amazing experiences and kind of who I am today as well. So lots of cool experiences, and I would really encourage you to look into that too if you're curious more about the BI. There's also a few different things that you can do to kind of supplement all the hands-on experience that you're already getting in the classroom, and one of those is research. UCCS is a research institution, so what that means is that you can actually partner up with one of your professors and get paid to help them with their research. A lot of times as the university gets bigger, those research opportunities are reserved for graduate students and doctoral students, so that's what's great about UCCS. Our size, our small classroom sizes, you're going to get to know your professors very well and hopefully partner up with them and have the opportunity to do some research. One of my best friends was a mechanical engineer student at UCCS. And through his research that he was doing at UCCS with one of his professors, that led to a full ride opportunity to pursue his PhD at Auburn. So there's a lot of great networking opportunities that come out of that as well. We also have internships. This is another great way to kind of get some of that more real world experience and hands-on experience. Some of our programs will require you to complete an internship. So I know one of you mentioned business. Our College of Business does require you to complete an internship, and they have a career development center to help you find those as well. Nursing, a lot of you were interested in nursing. Your way of getting that hands-on experience in internship, that's your clinicals. And you do clinicals for 3 years within our nursing program. But if your major does not necessarily require you to complete an internship, we do have a lot of support to help you find one, and we do encourage students to at least pursue 1 or 2 internships throughout their time in college to get that experience. We've got a career center on campus. They can assist you and get you connected to all of our different relationships that we have in and outside of Colorado. They can also help you with mock interviews and resume writing and things like that as well. You can also take classes abroad. With all of our programs, you can go, as short as a week or as long as a year. We've got a variety of different styles. So maybe you want to go on a smaller trip. Sometimes studying abroad can be a little bit intimidating, so that's what's nice about going maybe on a shorter trip with a group of fellow students and a couple of professors. We've had students go to Japan. We've had students study economics in Peru or Latvia, criminal justice in the Netherlands. There's so many different trips that you can do. And then we also have something called the National Student Exchange. This is where you pay UCCS tuition to go to another university that we've partnered with, even if that's outside Colorado. So that means, maybe you could go to Canada or Guam or the Virgin Islands. And again, you're paying UCCS tuition to have this opportunity. And this is something that I did not take advantage of while I was a student, and it's something that I would highly encourage you to think about in the future if you can squeeze that in, even just a short trip to have that experience. And earlier I mentioned that we're one of the fastest growing institutions in the state of Colorado. So with that comes new buildings and some amazing new programs. This building here is our new Center for the Arts. It's a state-of-the-art visual and performing arts complex that houses 4 performing arts venues, a gallery of contemporary art, a recording studio, and then our music, dance, and theater departments as well. So this is a beautiful building. If you live maybe in Colorado Springs, you may have driven past it a couple times on North Nevada. But across the street from this is also construction for our new William J. Hybl Sport Medicine and Performance Center. So some of you also indicated an interest in health sciences. So maybe if you are thinking about pre-med or physical therapy, or if you're going to be taking anatomy and physiology classes, this could potentially be where you have all of those. This is going to be completed by this fall for our students. It's going to be the first of its kind to incorporate undergrad and grad education with clinical practice and research. So top of the line facility there. With this will be a new major called Human Physiology and Nutrition. Other majors up and coming to UCCS. Last year we had our first cohort for the Bachelor's of Arts in Human Services. This fall we'll have a Bachelor's of Social Work and a Master's in Social Work, along with a new Bachelor of Innovation in Digital Media and a new emphasis in cybersecurity for our College of Business students. So a lot of really amazing things that are coming to UCCS with the growth of our university, but we still ensure that we are growing sustainably and keeping those classes small for our students to get the best out of their education. Now, of course, you're not going to be studying all the time. There's a lot of different things you can do here while you are a student. One of my personal favorites was going to the basketball games. It is free for students to go to. UCCS has 16 different NCAA D2 teams. So this is a shot from Blackout Night, happens during basketball season. During these nights, it's a fun tradition at UCCS to give away free shirts, free beanies, socks, quarter zips. Normally everyone wears black. Not sure how the folks in yellow ended up in that student section there, pretending that you guys are laughing, but I like to think it's probably this guy's students, a couple people to the right, his parents came to surprise him. So it is a fun night. Going to these events, you get a lot of free t-shirts by going to these athletic events. But is anyone interested, by show of hands, in playing a sport in college? Okay, cool. So if you are interested, you go to gomountainlions.com. You can fill out a prospective student athlete form for your sport. And then if the coach is interested, they will follow up with you. But that's kind of our first tier of athletics, our D2 teams. Second tier of athletics are our club sports. I played club soccer while I was a student here. And this is kind of a nice alternative because you can still compete competitively and still have a team, but you're not necessarily having the same commitment level. So like my soccer team, we would still compete against universities across Colorado, and we traveled out of state for nationals as well. And I know that's the case for the majority of our club sports teams, is they get to travel out of state as well. So it's just really nice to kind of have practices maybe twice a week versus every day. Just kind of depends on what is in the best interest for you. We also have our third tier of athletics, which is our intramurals. This is UCCS students against other UCCS students. Arguably, I think these are the most fun. We do have your traditional sports, basketball, volleyball, soccer. We also have canoe battleship. We have fencing, bowling. You can even play cricket with the Chancellor. Chancellor Venkat Reddy here on the right will even get involved with the students, which is great. But my first semester as a freshman, I didn't really know anybody. I joined an outdoor intramural soccer team and we won the championships. We got free food and free t-shirts for winning, but I still play off campus with 4 of those same people years later. So when people say get involved in something your first semester, it really does make a huge difference. Maybe it is an intramural team or a club or you're working on campus, but say yes to an opportunity that you maybe wouldn't have considered before. And that's honestly how you're gonna make really great relationships at UCCS. We also have our Seoul office. So it's a couple of you are from Colorado. Some of you guys were outside of Colorado and even outside the US as well. So we have an awesome office at UCCS that can help you to explore inside and outside of Colorado. It's our Student Outdoor Learning Experience Office, and they will take students like what you see at this picture here. You can go sandboarding at the sand dunes, whitewater rafting, skiing, snowboarding, skydiving. Last year, they took students to Costa Rica for a week. I know they were planning on doing a spring break trip to Utah to go backpacking and camping and hiking. So there's a lot of cool opportunities for you to get that outdoor experience and explore Colorado and all those beautiful places that we have. There's also a lot of local hiking trails around and even right behind UCCS as well, if you don't want to stray too far. And at the beginning of each semester, we offer something called Club Fair. UCCS offers around 200 different types of clubs. So Club Fair is when the majority of these clubs are going to come out to this west lawn, and that's that big grassy lawn that you see here in this photo, and just table, and they'll tell you what they're all about. So this is a chance for you to come and see maybe something that might interest you. We do have your academic clubs like the Pre-Law Society or Pre-Health Society. There's the Business Club. Then we also have some fun ones in there too, like the Beard Growing Club, Netflix Club, Picnic Club, lots of different types of clubs for you. And if none of those 200 sound interesting, it does only take 4 people to start a club. So get a couple of your best friends together and you could start one of your own if you would like. Besides the different clubs that we have, there's also a lot of different events. And we've got small scale events from the Glow Dance to my personal favorite was Homecoming Week, which we do every year. It's a big tradition at UCCS. It's usually paired with a drive-in movie. There's a 5K for charity. And then the night of, one of the nights actually, you get to go to a tailgate, then you go to the men's and women's soccer games. Then after that is a huge bonfire. And then the following day, they have the dance paired with the casino night as well. So it's a fun chance to kind of meet some other students, get more free food, more free t-shirts. But we also host a lot of different guest speakers on campus as well. We've had William Shatner, we've had Gabby Douglas, which I got to meet her and take a picture with her as well. We've had Scott Kelly, a NASA astronaut. So some pretty amazing people that we brought to campus for our students to meet and get a really cool message from as well. And a lot of these events are easier to go to when you are living on campus. It's a requirement for first-time freshmen unless you live in El Paso County. That means you're local. So if you're not, then you will be required to live on campus. Technically, we call them residence halls versus dorms. That's because the max amount of people that you will share a bathroom with is 5 other people. We don't like floor bathrooms, so those do not exist at UCCS. So that very max is going to be 5. So all our res halls are going to be suite style. And there's actually about 13 different options for you to choose from, which may seem a little overwhelming, but ultimately what you're choosing between is either a private bedroom in a suite, which is one of our most popular options. We've also got a shared bedroom in a suite. And then what I like to call the ultimate introvert package. If you want your own bedroom and your own bathroom, we have that option available for you as well. And living on campus as a freshman, it is all inclusive. So what that means is that you can swing by any of our 2 dining halls as many times a day, as many times a week as you want to. There's no limit to that, which can be kind of dangerous, but you can go there unlimited amount of times. It also includes a parking pass for covered parking, which is great in Colorado. Your Wi-Fi, your cable, your utilities, and your laundry. So you don't have to bring bags of quarters around campus to do your laundry. All of that is going to be included. You can even set up the washer and dryer machines to text you when your laundry is done as well, which is kind of a unique feature to be able to have that too. I think one of the biggest things that stands out to me about UCCS is the level of support services that we have. I think you're definitely going to be challenged here as a student, but we have a lot of different resources for you to help you be successful. And I think UCCS truly does care a lot about your success. Academically, we've got 5 different Excel centers. These are free centers for academic support. So you've got science, math, world communication, writing, and languages and social sciences. These are free centers for you to go to and get some extra support if you need it. Statistically, the students that use these Excel centers will get a grade higher than their peers. So it makes a huge difference to be able to use these. Now this photo is of our lovely academic advisors. Each of you will be assigned your own academic advisor to help you kind of craft your entire schedule and your degree plan. So no, one of you mentioned you're interested in business, some nursing, LES. Each of you will have your own to assist you with all of that. Especially if any of you are admitted seniors, you're gonna be able to talk to your advisor after doing orientation to build that class schedule. All of our first-time freshmen, so a couple of you seniors coming in, you're going to be required to take something called GPS or Gateway Program Seminar. This is essentially your intro to college class. So they're going to help you with things like study skills, time management, and get you connected to all of your different resources on campus. It's ultimately just to help you acclimate to what college is all about, because it is a huge transition. But I think the best part about these classes is that they're actually all themed, and there's about 40 different options for you to choose from. So whatever theme that you choose, your class will do certain activities throughout the semester that are based on that theme. So for example, we've got Harry Potter, there's leadership, baseball. I did the one that was Live Stronger. So we went hiking and yoga during our class times. So there's a lot of cool themes that you can choose from. You can also work on campus. This is another huge area for support for our students. We understand that school comes first and you're a student employee second. You are capped at the amount of hours that you can work per week while working on campus. And there's a lot of different jobs you can do. I worked on campus for 4 years. I worked as a campus tour guide first, and then I worked at our admissions front desk, also at our coffee shop on campus. But there's so many different jobs. You could work at the bookstore, the library, plant flowers, shovel snow, be a research assistant. You could write parking tickets if you want to make friends fast. So there's a lot of different jobs that you can do, and we really do a lot to support our students throughout this time as well when you are working on campus. One of my favorite parts about the university is absolutely our Recreation and Wellness Center. This was just doubled in size the past few years. So we doubled the weight and cardio equipment, added 2 more basketball and volleyball courts, built this 27-foot rock climbing wall, and then most importantly, we brought all our different resources and centers from across campus into one centralized facility for you, so that it truly does become kind of your one-stop shop for everything that you need related to your health and wellness. So what that means for you is you can swing by to maybe lift weights, take a yoga class, kickboxing, Zumba class. We also have mental health counseling services, massage therapists, chiropractors. Our health center is in there as well. So maybe you need a sports physical for club volleyball, or you need a flu shot, or you sprain your ankle walking across campus. Then you can just swing by the health center and they will be able to take care of you there. They also have a lot of different workshops. So these are all examples of different types of ones that they put on. So in the top right corner, you see this Learn to Climb series. Maybe you've never done rock climbing. They'll teach you how to do that. They do cooking classes, body positivity week. They've done Glow Zumba. And now, even during this period of remote learning, they still have different types of online workshops and videos and fitness classes for our students to help them kind of just really improve their overall well-being, even while they are doing all these classes remotely at this time. So we do a lot to truly support our students. Now, in terms of our tuition and our aid, so we break our tuition down into 3 different types. We've got our Colorado resident tuition, the WUI, which is our Western Undergraduate Exchange Rate. So maybe for students coming from California, or North Dakota, South Dakota, Utah, Nevada, then you would qualify for that rate. And then we've got our non-resident tuition rate as well. Swinging over to scholarships, so we've got 2 automatic scholarships that I want to highlight. That's the Chancellor's Award and the Peak Award. These are automatic scholarships for students. So if you, as a freshman coming in, have a 3.0 GPA and a 23 ACT or 1130 SAT, you will qualify for the Chancellor's if you're from Colorado, or the Peak if you're from out of state. I know I saw we've got a transfer student in there as well. And so to qualify, you would need a 3.0 or higher, as long as you have at least 24 or more transfer credits that you're coming in with. So those are 2 automatic scholarships. At the bottom, those are just a sampling of the competitive scholarships that we have to offer at UCCS. We got the Presidential Non-Resident Award. So this is for our out-of-state students. And then we've also got our Chancellor's Leadership class, which is open to all students, but it's a selective and very prestigious leadership program at UCCS that comes with some networking opportunities and scholarship as well. And the most important thing when it comes to scholarships, though, is absolutely our timeline. So I know we had a couple seniors in here, a transfer. So what this means is that we're kind of sitting after March 1, right? So registration for orientation is available now if you're going to be attending UCCS this summer 2020 or fall 2020. If you have not registered yet, I highly encourage you to do so. This is how you're going to be able to meet your advisor, whether that's virtually or hopefully in person during the summer, and be able to register for your classes. Financial aid awards, if you submitted that by the priority date of March 1st, you should be getting that here soon. And housing, kind of similar as well. But for those of you who maybe are not attending UCCS this summer or the fall, This timeline stays the same every year. So for any juniors out there, the application for next fall 2021 opens up this September. And then we've got the FAFSA scholarship application and housing applications available as well. But March 1st was a big deadline for scholarships and priority date for FAFSA. So if you have questions about the timeline, we can talk about this later on for you too. Ultimately, this is what it's all about. You know, whether you're thinking about transferring to UCCS or maybe you're starting college for the first time, this is a huge milestone, you know, coming to college, but graduating college is an even bigger milestone. And I think that UCCS does an amazing job of truly preparing our students for life after college, because ultimately that's what it's all about, while also giving you a very unique and fun experience while you are at UCCS. And I truly loved my experience. Again, I was a student, so for now, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions. So if you guys do have anything that you're curious about, feel free to go ahead and type that in that Q&A there. Again, I'll stick around to answer those for you. But thank you so much again for coming and learning more about UCCS. I also do want to point you to a couple different resources on our website. We have a virtual tour. So if you have not visited campus before, we've got a virtual tour led by some of our student ambassadors on our website. We also have, if you're an admitted senior and you're wanting to know, hey, what are the next steps that I got to do? There's a webinar for that. We've actually got one tomorrow at 3 o'clock if you're interested. And then we also have our online view book, which is the brochure that we normally hand out in person. And you'll be able to access that through our website as well. You can just go to apply now and then select the first link, and there's a virtual link there that leads to the rest of the options for you to register for. Again, thank you guys all so much for coming, and we'll try to answer these questions as they come in here. And I'm not able to see our Q&A, but I know that Annalise can, and so she'll be able to take care of that. All right, and if you don't have any questions, you're good to go for today. Again, thanks so much. If you do want to email us about it, you can just email us at go@uccs.edu, and we can address those questions there for you. And let's see. And I'm not able to see the questions that are coming in. Annalise or Vanessa, I don't know if you guys would be able to read those out loud to me, and then I can try to answer those.
Yeah, Jess, we do have a few questions coming in. So one person did ask, how is Colorado Springs as a city? So if you want to talk about that, I'm just answering some of them that are more personal and a private message for you all.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's a really good question. So I'm originally from Fort Collins, which is about 2 hours from Colorado Springs. What really drew me to Colorado Springs, and UCCS specifically, is that it's kind of a nice big city, but it's nice and spread out. So it's not as overwhelming as what you might think of when you think of a big city. It is one of the top places to live here in Colorado Springs, and there's so much that you can do. Our campus is near what's called University Village, which we do have actually a path that goes there for our students, kind of near where our buses are. But that has Costco and Lowe's and lots of places to eat. There's a Starbucks over there. We have 2 different malls here in Colorado Springs, lots of hiking trails. There's one called the Bluffs, which is right behind UCCS. I actually just hiked there early last week too for a nice little break. So there's a lot of different things that you can do here. It just kind of depends on what you're interested in doing. But Colorado Springs itself just has a lot to offer. And we are only about 2 to 3 hours from some of the major mountain resorts. So I myself, even though I'm from Colorado, I'm not a big skier or snowboarder. But if you are interested, we've got Breckenridge, which is just a couple hours away, Monarch, Keystone, Aspen. So a lot of those different resorts for students to go to. I personally just like to go up there just to do some hiking with some friends, and I'll visit the little mountain towns there and find a cute coffee shop and things like that. But there's a lot that you can do. Kind of just depends on what you're looking into, and if there is something specific you're looking for, just let me know, and I'm happy to see if we have that. Any other major questions, Annalise?
Yes, we do have someone who is asking about veterans benefits. So if you want to talk a little bit about that, they are concerned that we do have, because of the lockdown right now, they're having a hard time going through the process of establishing residency. So if you want to talk about just the resources that you could direct them to.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have a few different resources that I would direct you to. So first and foremost would be through our Office of Veteran Military Affairs. They can provide you with a lot of that information, especially towards utilizing those benefits. Their email address is very simple, but it's just military, military, at uccs.edu. I would first start with their office to kind of talk about the benefits. And in terms of how that relates to residency, we do have our Office of the Registrar. They will work with students, and especially veterans as well, on kind of addressing those residency questions. And so their email address is actually going to be registrar, that's REGISTRAR, at uccs.edu. And what I do want to remind you guys too is that all our offices at UCCS are working remotely, so everything is essentially still fully functioning. I recommend email as the best way, but we still are able to call students as well and address those questions over the phone if needed to.
All right, and we do have another question about the triple suites, and if do you know what the bathroom situation is for those, whether it's one or two for the triple suite?
I don't know the answer to that, but I could definitely find out. If we can, Annalise, if you can let me know what individual that was, I can follow up with them separately.
Yes, absolutely. And then the last question that we have yet to answer is, do we offer any full ride scholarships?
Yeah, so with the full ride scholarships, there are a few, and I don't know them off the top of my head. I believe we have a Kane scholarship. We also have a Betcher scholarship as well, which not necessarily through UCCS, but there are a couple different opportunities. I would recommend and direct you to our scholarship search on the UCCS website. That is going to allow you to search different scholarships that we have available for students. You can also search specifically for certain keywords. So maybe you're going into STEM. You can search STEM and see what's available. There's a $20,000 scholarship for nursing students called the Clement Family Scholarship. So you could search based on different keywords like that too to see what you might be available for. Again, the biggest thing with those scholarships is that they open up December 1st and close March 1st for that following academic year. And some of those big ones, like usually the full ride scholarships, those usually close February 1st.
Awesome. Thanks, Jess. And I did want to go back to the question about the triple suite. If you go to uccs.edu/housing, you're able to go see those dorms. As I know, Jess put up all of our dorms on one of the slides, but if you do want to see those and research those a little bit deeper, you do have that opportunity to look at them over there. It's just uccs.edu/housing.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, it looks like those are all the questions that I have on my list.
Okay. Perfect. Well, again, thank you all so much for coming today. If you have more questions, just email us at go@uccs.edu, and we will follow up with you as soon as we can. So thanks so much and have a good rest of your day.